What's up, everybody? JP here with the Leprechaun Fantasy Workshop. We are here to do some live painting of a bunch of the Reaper Bones stuff. So, sorry about that. I want to finish off a little bit of the spider encounter that we painted the stonework of earlier. I want to paint, there was you could call it an elder brain kind of monster, a tentacle monster of some sort. I already have an elder brain in my collection from the actual WizKids models, so I'm going to paint it a different style. I'm just going to kind of freestyle it and do what I want to do, so I can use it for multiple encounters or something else. And then we've got a couple of skeleton type things from one from the ship, the brine set, and then some from the spider set as well of bodies that have been encased or wrapped. So should be pretty interesting. We're going to get into it. Hit us up in the comments if there's something you want to see, something you want to, go over, talk about, whatever. Because, yeah, this is for you guys as much as it is for me. So, we're going to get into it. I'm going to switch over to our camera, and, yeah, let us know. Alright, guys, so, first off, to separate everything, this whole set here is the tentacle monster. I think Reaper Bones calls it the thing that lives in the well or something like that. I left some of the stuff on the spruce just because when I was painting, I had stuff everywhere. I just love this miniature, this model. It's a skeleton trapped on an anchor that has been dumped to the bottom of the sea, which is just awesome. So you can see I painted a little bit of it. I had those paints out for the live stream yesterday, and so I hit those up. Same with these two. These are partially wrapped bodies in spider silk, so I did the edges of those. And then we've got the actual big spiders, and like I said, I kept some of them on the spruce, and then I kept some of the wrapped bodies on a spruce as well. So we're gonna get into it. Whenever I'm removing stuff from spruces, I use these kind of cutters. They're awesome. You get right up to the edge, and it's always like a perfect clean cut. So little as much as possible for having to use an X-Acto knife if you go that route. I'm not going to use an X-Acto knife on these because, again, I try to paint everything and do everything at table quality. I'm not doing a contest or anything like that. I've got so many models to paint, so I mean, I want it to be as clean as possible, which is why I use these cutters, but, I mean, it's not going to matter, if there's a little bit of a... Players are not going to be able to see it from the table of, oh, yeah, I can see the spruce, I can see it's on a clean line. Yeah, my player's not like that. So... Alrighty. So I'm gonna go a little bit crazy with some of this stuff, mainly the creature that lives in the well. I was thinking of, this looks like a brain kind of material, but it could also be like a giant, like moss and vines and that kind of stuff. That's how I was looking at it. And I don't have a lot of like wild forest like monsters, so that kind of seems like the ideal. So alright, get a drink before we start. Drink. So as always, I try and grab all the paints that I'm going to use before. Just how I work. I like to be able to, quickly retrieve whatever I need. And then I keep a huge tub, right? You guys can't really see it, but below, you can see the light there. I installed on my table RGB so I can actually change the color. You see that? I like green, that looks cool. But I also have white, so I can see the paints easily, so I can quickly retrieve whatever colors I want. Okay. So what I always do is I try to categorize what I'm going to paint and what colors I'm going to use. So I'm putting these together because this is going to be like skeletal colors. So this skeleton bone. I'm going to use the spiders since they're all going to be spiders from the same, even though they're a little bit different design. I'm going to use browns just like I did with the monster spider that we did, the big one. Stonework, I kind of do the same for stone, so we're going to go through that. So I'm going to do that because it's the biggest thing. I'm going to use wrought iron for the first color. Great thing about acrylics, you can always just peel them out when they dry. Alright, so bear with me one sec. I need a rag. I have one right behind me. Alrighty. And no, I don't leave my brushes in the water overnight or like that. I was painting stuff earlier. I was painting tiles, which you guys probably would not find very interesting. Because it's brainless painting. Alright, so again, I'm lightly covering this. Paint. Acrylics are always great because you can go to one thing and then jump to the other. I'm not trying to get a ton on my brush, and I want that black to show through like always. That's why I paint most of my stuff black. By most, I mean like 99.99999%. And I don't need to paint the inside of there just because this insert's going to go inside, and I'm going to paint this to be as if it were in the bottom of the well, although most of it's not going to show through. Alright. Since that, I mean, again, we're just going to move right along. It's not a lot of this stuff is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Now we're going to move over to the skeletal bone color. Here, I'll try and move this over so you guys can see how I use my color palettes. Give that guy a little bit more of a snip. Have more of a rounded shoulder there. Okay. Alright. Now, I want to get most of the paint off this brush, because when I do this, I'm going to try and follow the actual wrapping lines. So the wrapping lines go this way. So I'm going to try and follow with that extremely light, though. Now I'm going to hit these a little bit with another color just because the skeletons inside these wraps, I want there to be a different color palette to distinguish the skeleton portion from the silk wrap of the spider. What's really cool is this, how the detail pops when you give it a light brushing. I don't know how well you guys can see. You can see the face, but you can actually see like the mouth open and eye looking back at you. It's a really simple technique, and all it is get a light amount of paint on your brush, wipe it all away, and then give it a very, very light brushing, and details just pop in a good sculpted model. So again, I'm just sorry, so you guys can see, I'm just wiping the axis off and then just going in. So again, you get the detail work on there. You can actually see on the skull, you can actually even see the eyes. And it's because it's painted black before, and then you lightly cover it, and the detail just pop. Very easy. What did that take? Like a minute. It's very simple. Painting is really technique. It's not about, you know, I was just good at this. Like it's never that. It's just you learn a talent or the technique, and technique is you just got to put it into practice. So there you go. We have a skeleton. And there's another one on there, but you can see him lying right there next to the chain. And as you add more color and more detail, it just makes it seamless. So for this guy, He's got some like actual clothing and stuff on him. So I'm just gonna do a heavy overbrush because I'm gonna go in and get the over clothes in a second. Alrighty. There you go. And again, the anchor is very bright right now. We're going to go in and rust it up and then cover it with some algae. It's been at the bottom of the ocean for a while. That, again, let your paintbrush tell your story. So the well's good enough to hit with another coat, but before I do that, since we're almost done with these, I want to get these off the table. I like to get, you know, models done and move on to the next thing. So what I'm using is a linen, and we're gonna add some color to these, just to give it contrast and a little bit more depth. So again, very now I know this is probably not even discernible, but it is to me. All right, so we'll put it. We'll show you the difference. So it'll zoom in a second. There you go. So here's the one we did a little bit more color to. This is the one that's, you know, so it's $1. I think it has more depth. Just my personal preference. Again, that's probably not discernible for table size, you know, but that's kind of what I try to do. Alright, sorry, I'm going to speed up a little bit here for you guys. Cool. So we'll call these guys done. Like I said, simple enough. That gave me some time for the other stuff to dry. Put them off to the side. And we'll move on to our next. Alright, so we're going to finish off this base. Again, I like to use contrast colors to make things pop, that kind of thing. And, you know, your first color might be a heavier coat. Your next color, lighter, you know, put less paint on the brush. And you know, maybe be less erratic, that kind of thing. It'll give it more of a realistic or ideal look to it. There you go. Simple enough, pretty quick. And we'll hit... you know what? I don't actually want to add more color to that. With this being the base inside for all the tentacles, I want it to be as blasé as possible, you know what I mean? So... that will fit. Essentially like that. Now I'm just pressure fitting it. I'm not gluing anything in right now. Probably gluing stuff after it's all done. Like I said, I'm going to do this as if it was like vines or ivy, that kind of stuff. You don't have to paint miniatures to match whatever, you know, the designer made it. There was a while ago where I was going to do a big Knoll encounter, and I wanted hyenas to be able to attack the players as, you know, as a quick moving pack as well as the gnolls. And I couldn't get a hold of any hyenas. They hadn't come out yet. There was miniatures coming, but they hadn't come out yet. So, and I like to, you know, pride myself on putting everything that I say I'm going to put on the table. So what I did is I bought a pack of wolves and I painted them as a hyena would be painted. No one, I mean, I still keep them as hyenas. I never repainted them. I think they look indistinguishable from what the hyenas now that came out look. I mean, obviously, if you look very closely at it, you can go, oh, well, that's not a... But it's not the body type of a hyena, but, I mean, who cares? Alright. We'll let that dry for a little bit because we have another coat we're going to do on him. For the tentacles, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use a color that I haven't used before, I rarely use. And yeah. So I'm going to use this heavy dark purple, and it's red because I was spray painting something red. I like to stick stuff on the top of paint bottles with sticky tack and then spray paint. Just a quick trick to, you know, painting models fast. I think it's going to be interesting. I've never done this combination. I was looking at my paint bin, and I was just like, I don't have a lot of purple, and I don't have any purple monsters. I like the idea of a giant, you know, moss monster. You want to know where the inspiration for this came from? If you've ever watched the movie Jumanji, and I'm talking about the original, the one with Robin Williams, it's amazing. In Jumanji, the poisonous plants that come out, you know, they're bright purple, yellows, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I was looking at. Like a tropical man-eating plant. Again, I think this was meant to be like some sort of elder brain or something like that. I already have an elder brain. Really like it. So, just actually used it in an encounter the other day. Uh-oh. One thing to be careful of when you're using your paintbrush and you're bringing things down, moving things around, is I have put so much paint on my desk just because I have a paintbrush in my hand. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, and I accidentally paint my keyboard or something. What's really great about this purple color, I have used it before. I used it on a bunch of like King's Guard. I did all their cloaks, like the purple cloaks, and again, that was inspired by, you know, the gold cloaks from Game of Thrones. I just thought, you know, the Royal Guard, all purple, you know, purple's a royal color. So, welcome whoever just joined. You got any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, hit me up in the chat. I'm all ears. So again, we're just doing a base coat right now on the well monster. I decided purple was a cool color to use, and we're going to do a base coat of dioxazine purple, and then we're going to use this lighter color, purple, perfect purple, to, you know, highlight it a little bit. Alright, so we're going to leave these to dry a little bit, and again, you can see the ones that have dried before. They're almost turning back to black again. This is a really dark purple that dries almost with a tint of it. And I knew that before going in. One of my recommendations, if you're looking to paint stuff, get like wooden popsicle sticks. You can get, you know, packs of them in a craft store for like a couple bucks. And so here's a popsicle stick, right? And you just go, just clean the brush, but whatever. Now, obviously this is wood, so you're gonna have different, but if you put a paint line on here, and then you can do another color, you know, blah, blah, it'll allow you to give an overview of how colors will react to each other. Now, I wouldn't use purple and green. I mean, that's actually not too bad for here. How will the tentacle look with the, you know, center? But I would generally use a shade stick of, you know, dark purple to lighter all the way down. And that way I can figure out which color I want to use and then use as highlighters and that kind of stuff. So that's just a technique that I do sometimes when I'm using new paints. I've got like, I don't, like probably 150 bottles of paint because I don't like mixing at all. I know how to mix. I do it every now and then, but whenever I do rusted copper, like the oxidized copper, I mix that color because I can't find it anywhere the right way that I want to do it. But every time I've done it, it looks different elsewhere. So that's why I don't like mixing. I want to be able to repeat the color over and over and over again. Yeah, so if you're wondering how I do oxidized copper, I think I did one in a live stream, but I don't remember which one that is. If you want to know my trick to doing it, a metallic teal, and then like a lime, not this color, but something like this, a green. Now don't use this color, but something along those lines, and that will give you your oxidized copper color. Alright. Bear with me one sec. You guys are always wondering what's going on in my earbud. I am an audiobook nut. I listen to audiobooks incessantly. Almost all the time. And my audiobook just ended. I'm trying to beat a record. I'm trying to get through all the Harry Potter books in 1 week. Yes, I'm a nerd. And after we get this done, I'm going to go through Dragonlance. The Dragonlance Chronicles. That's my next... that's the next book on my list. So, just finished book 6, so now I'm on I'm now on the Deathly Hallows. And yes, I've read all of them as books before. But now with all the painting and stuff, it's a great way to do something with, you know, oh yeah, I want to paint, I want to, you know, you can just have it in the back of your ear. Alright. And again, this isn't sponsored at all. I use Audible. I'm just saying that because they're great. I've used them for probably as long as they've been around. I am an audiobook nut. When I was in grad school for teaching English, part of my thesis was about using audiobooks as a student. It's how I got through grad school because I had to read almost a book a day because of English. I was, always, and then you're teaching as well. So, anyways, that's enough of that. Let's get back into painting. Sorry about that. So we're gonna use a forest moss to give our vine brain thing a contrast color. Sorry about that. I'm going to start clearing off some of these things too. Some of the colors I've already used. There's no point in keeping them around. I'm all about cleaning up my desk space. Again, I was going very, very light, or heavy with the darker green. Now that we're doing the lighter, I'm going not so much a dry brushing technique, but enough that the dark green still shows through. Alrighty. Cool enough. Alright. I'm going to do a little bit of a rust technique here. Rust is pretty easy. Paint whatever your object is, metal, whatever metal color you want. I suggest a dollar metal, like a gunmetal. Here's the color I use. Gunmetal gray. That's by Folk Art. I have a big bottle. I have another, like a gunmetal from Craftsmart. This is probably cheaper than that bottle. You can get that like Michael's, stuff like that. Again, none of this is affiliated. But it's, and then I use a simple jack-o'-lantern orange. I like to use like a brighter, more fiery orange. Now I try to get a little bit of the paint off the brush, and then I'm just dabbing it on. Again, so this is not a stroke technique, I'm just dabbing. I do the same thing when I'm trying to take paint off the brush. Just dabbing in. There you go. So you have a rusted anchor. Pretty simple. You can still see the metallic through, but, you know, the rust is still there. Again, most of this is just simple technique. Some of it I've learned on YouTube, watching other people. Some of it is just me trying to figure out how to get what I want. Simple enough. Alright. I want to get orange completely off the brush, though, because that... I don't know why, but I do all my spiders in like a brown, in browns. Just a thing. Do whatever you want. I just try to stay away from the typical Black Widow kind of thing. I know it's just only a little bit of tint, you know what I mean? You see the one, the black versus the lighter brown. That's alright. When we hit it with a lighter brown color, it will pop a little bit more. I'm sorry, my next door neighbor's dog is losing its mind right now about something. Oops, sorry. As I've said before, I actually truly hate spiders. It creeps me out painting this right now. Like, I don't... If this were to suddenly move, you would get to see a grown person say very, very bad words, very, very loud, and probably soil themselves. I like the difference in color too. This one has more of like a fur look to it, and since it's distinctly a different breed, that's fine. Again, use the same color, same technique, different result, that's fine. Nature is not uniform. Just paint the little ones. And again, this is just the base coat. I'm going to go in with other colors. Here, I'm going to get that away from him. We're going to go in with other colors to make these a little bit more different, each one of them. Okay. Let's get orange out of here. Alright, let's hit those tentacles. Alright, so you guys can see the difference in purples. Here's the original purple. Oh, sorry, you can't see my brush tip. Here's the original purple. This is the new one. So it's distinctly lighter. So what I'm going to do, while the spiders are getting a little bit of a dry, is I'm going to hit the inside of the tentacles with the lighter. I'm going to use a smaller brush for that. There we go. So you got the dark side, and then the light side. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you guys can see here what we're doing. Come on, zoom in. Sorry, guys. It's hard to keep in... Come on. There you go. So just adding a little bit more detail. It's going to be a lot more darker following, just because we're going to hit it with washes later. But I'm not going to get to that point probably for these. So, alright, let's get the last bit of stuff here. All right. Sorry, the further we get into this, the more detail work you want to do. And All right. I think now that we have that, I'm gonna add a little bit of green to this whole thing, just because, I mean, it's at the bottom of the sea, right? It's gonna have algae on it, that kind of stuff. So all in all, can't be too dissatisfied with that. Like I said, we're gonna be doing a wash and all these, but that'll be probably off camera, just because I don't want this to run all night. But we're gonna finish off this stuff, and just to tie it all together, I think for these spines, I'm gonna give them a bit of a green for the spine, like the protuberances. Alrighty. So like I said, I want to try and make the spiders still a little bit distinct and different. Alrighty. So we can call the spiders done. Again, not overly complicated. I'm not like trying to, you know, make something amazing. I've got tons of spiders in my collection. So let's see how everything comes together with this this kind of monster of you know, the Black Lagoon kind of thing. Now again, I'm just place fitting these. I'm not gluing them up yet. Just want to see how it all looks. I cannot read to save my life on this. Might take a couple tries. Oop. Alright, so that's there. That goes there. That's so wee little guy. There you go. Get in there, laddie. Yes. Oh, here you go. Is that the right? I think I got it wrong. think that's number 1. I don't really... There you go. You know what? I like it. I like it a lot. So, yeah, there you guys go. Big, you know, fits a lot of titles, you know. I don't know. Tentacle monster. I can make it, you know, a forest. You know, it comes out of a well, creature of the well. That's what they call it in Reaper Bones. But yeah, and then we've got the shipwrecked or skeleton that's been dropped on an anchor. So, all in all, guys, not too bad. Again, we got the spiders done, so those are those as well. We got the bodies done from the spiders, so you know you're wrapped victims, that kind of thing. I really like these because they can... Oh, sorry, you can't even see them. I really like these guys because, I mean, yeah, you can use these as placeholders for, like, if a player gets wrapped up, you know, that kind of thing. Meanwhile, these are bodies that, you know, you can see are dead. So, yeah. All in all, guys, I think it was a well, you know, done, getting things done here quickly. A lot of unique models to paint together. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. I am sorry I did not see your comment casually. Yeah, Bettina Copper. So, I apologize. It didn't come over in my regular feed. I wasn't watching the Twitch account. So. But thanks again, guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. We will probably be live streaming hopefully tomorrow. I can't make any guarantees. I know I schedule stuff on Sundays, but I do have... There's a wedding in my future. Not for me getting married, but I'm in a wedding party. So I have to do a lot of prep work for that. So, but yeah, we'll try and live stream tomorrow night. Do more painting possibly. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let your paint